Hi, today we will see a for loop in Python. In Python, a for loop is used with the iterables, and a for loop is a control flow statement for specifying iteration which allow code to be executed repeatedly. So, iterable is a Python object capable of returning its member one at a time, permitting it to be iterated over in a for loop. Familiar example of iterables can be list, tuple, string, dictionary, sets. So these all are iterables. So we have seen a for loop in another programming language like C, C++, Java. So a for loop have three main parts. So first is initialization, second is condition, and third is updation. So in initialization we initialize I equal to 0. In condition we keep a condition that I should be less than 5. And here we update I, that is we increment I by 1. So let's first see the while loop. So while loop, how the while loop works. So here I equal to 0, that is initialization. Then we check the condition, that is I should be less than 5. If the I is less than 5, then only the while it will execute this while loop, the code inside the while loop. So it will print I and then it will update I, that it will increment I by 1. So it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we write this first statement, second and third in a one line, we get a for loop. So that is first initialization, condition and updation. So this is the syntax that we used to write in a language like C, C++ and Java. So in Python we have some change in a for loop. So there is the syntax change in a for loop, and the for loop is used with the iterable object, and it will only work with the iterable object. So here we write a for loop in this manner for I in range 5. So what is a range? Range is a function used to generate a sequence of numbers and is commonly used in for loop. So what does here range do? It will generate a sequence of numbers from 0 to 4. So range function can be written in three ways. That is, first it takes one argument, that is the stop, so the ending point. So here it takes one argument, that is 5, that it has to end at 5. The 5 will be excluded. So here it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will go up till 4. So the second way is two arguments. The first argument will be a starting position and the second argument will be a ending position. So if we write here 0 to 10, we get 0 as including and 10 as excluding. So our range, our sequence will be in this form: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 till 9. Then we have a three argument, that is starting point, ending point and an increment, a step. So this is similar to a syntax of C, C++ and Java, that is starting, ending and increment. So here if we have 0 as starting, 10 as stop and increment as 2. So what will happen? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. and 10 is excluded, so it will not be counted. So let's move ahead. So we have iterables like list. So the for loop is used only with the iterable. So here we have a list 1, 2, 3, and we iterate this list. So the list will return the first element. So iterables are capable of returning its member one at a time. So it will return only one, and it will assign to be x, and then it will print x, that is 1. Then in next iteration it will assign a x to 2, then in next assign a x to 3. So it will print 1, 2, 3. Now we have a hello, that is string, and that is also iterable. So for it is same as the list, so it will return the first character of hello, that is h, and it will assign to x, and it will print h. So in this manner it will print hello. So here it will first it will return x, then in next iteration it will return e, so on, and at last it will return o. So this iteration goes up to the last element of the iterable. So here the last element is o, so it will go up till o, and it will print hello in vertical form. Now for x in tuple, the tuple of characters a, b, and c. Now for the tuple it is also same. It will return first element, second, and third, and it will print a, b, c in vertical form. Now we have a list of tuples. So here tuples are, whole tuple is returned as a one element of a list. So it will print the 1, 2 whole as one element of a list, and 3, 4 as second element of list, 5, 6 as third element of list. Now we can assign an individual tuple values to a named variable. Here we have only x, so the 1 and 2, the whole tuple was assigned to x, but we have here I and j, so the values of tuple, that is 1 and 2, will be assigned to I and j. So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will print up till the last element of the list. So now we had a break and continue statement in while loop. So it is obvious that the for loop also supports the break and continue statement. So continues the for loop from that point and move to a next iteration. So here 0, so range 5 will produce a sequence of 0 to 4, and for I equal to 0, the if condition is false, so it will not go to continue statement, and it will print 0. Then when I is equal to 2, I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, there is no problem. But when I is equal to 3, it will, the condition, if condition is true here, and it will execute the continue statement, and the loop will immediately move to a next iteration, that is 4, I equal to 4, and then it will print I equal to 1. So in printing it will skip I equal to 3. So here we get output as 0, 1, 2, and 4. It will skip 3. Now we have a break. So break immediately breaks the loop and comes out of the loop, while continue move to the next iteration, but the break breaks the loop and come out of the loop. So for I in range 5, 0 to 4, the sequence will be produced as 0 to 4. Now there is no problem when I is equal to 0, 1 and 2. When it is 3, the if condition will be true and it will move to a break statement, and then it will terminate this loop and immediately come out of the loop. So it will not even print a 4. So the output will be 0, 1 and 2. Now we see a try. Now let's first we have a else statement. So now let's see a else clause. So else clause in for loop is executed when the loop terminates normally. That the loop does not execute a break statement. When loop does not execute a break statement, it will execute a else clause. So here the range of I will be from 1 to 5. That is, the starting point will be 1 and ending point is 5, so it will exclude 5, and the range of the numbers will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. For I equal to 1, 2, 3 and 4, then 1, 2, 3 and 4, none are multiple of 7. So the if condition will be false here, so it will not go into the if condition and this will not break, so the loop will end normally. So the else clause will be else clause will be executed and it will print no multiple of 7 encountered. But when we change the range to 1 to 8, so the last element will be 7, which is the multiple of 7. So at I equal to 7, the if condition will be true and it will go inside the if condition and it will first print a multiple of 7 found, and then it will break the loop. As the loop executes the break statement, it will not execute a else clause, so it will not print no multiple of 7 encountered. We had a try statement in while loop, so we also have it in a for loop. So we have a range 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have a try, except and finally always run. Even if the try and expect don't have any error, then also finally run. It is regardless of result of try and except, the finally will run. So for I in range 5, when I is equal to 0, here there is no error. 10 divided by -3, there is no error. It will all print finally will always run, so it will print always run and print time. Then it will move to 2. Then when it comes to 3, so what will happen here, when it comes to 3, it will produce a 0 division error and it will come in this except block. It will print divided by 0, and then even if it is written here continue, it will move to a next iteration, but before that it will run the final clause and it will print always run, and then it will move to a next iteration. So then in next iteration I is equal to 4, so I4 is 1, so 10 divided by 1, there is no error, so it will print always run and print I, that is 4. So now let's move to another topic, that is here it is simple printed hello. So we first we wrote the hello here. Now it is taken into it is assigned to S, and then S is written here. It's nothing, but we want to print index of every element of iterable side by side. So we first take assign a hello to S, take I equal to 0, and we will increment this I by 1. So for C in S, print I and C. So it will print 0 and H, then 1 E, 2 L, 3 L, 4 O. We have another approach for it. S equal to hello for I in range length of S, that is 5. So it will take I equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 4 and string that is hello supports the indexing. So S of I, that is H, it will print that E, L, L, O. Now we have enumerate function. So what is the enumerate function? Enumerate function has a counter to an iterable and return it in the form of an enumerate object. So for I and C, I, C in enumerate S, so it has a counter for every element of a iterable. So first, when it is H, the I will be 0, so it is printed 0. When it will move to a next, it will print 1, I will be 1. It is incremented, it counts the I. So in that way, 0 for H, I 1 for E, 2 for L, 3 for N and 4 for O. We'll see all these functions later in the course. Thank you for watching the video. Press the like button, share and subscribe. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in next video. Give your valuable suggestions in the comment box. Thank you.